Hello, human beings. Hopefully you are going to be here on this live stream. Let us see. Are we in fact streaming to the respective pages? I see nobody at this juncture. Oh, I see a couple of people. All right, people are filtering in. Hello, human beings. Hello. Hi. Hi there. Let me turn to the chat here. Can you guys who have logged on? Oh, hello. Hi from Fort Collins, Colorado. That's delightful. Beautiful. Hello. Sign in, and good to see you all showing up here. This is delightful. I haven't done a live stream in like a million years. I know people that have continued to do them, and on a regular basis. Maybe I should have, but I gotta say, from my part, I was just saying this to a live audience member last night. During the pandemic, when I was doing those live streams, they were so necessary. You know, I needed them, and I felt like people needed them, and also so dissatisfying because we're not in the same place, and that's obviously something our species is much better suited to. Oh, hello from Toronto. Hello. Thank you. Anyway, they were so dissatisfying, but also so much better than being as alone as we all were during the damn pandemic. So, oh yeah, I'll take requests. I will certainly, thank you. I will certainly, I'm taking requests, I'm taking questions. So I guess technically speaking, the way you ask a question would be to type it in the comments section. And the very first question was, can I request All Saints Day? I assume you mean, yeah, All Saints Day. And I'm happy to play that tune. In fact, I'll play that tune. But I'm also, if anyone has any questions about songwriting itself or about my work and how it fits in this wide and crazy world, I'm happy to take those questions. So let me play this tune that Julie has requested. It's called All Saints. There is another world, but it isn't this one. There is another world, but it isn't this one. Come walk with me on All Saints Day. Green in shades of touch, green and light a kiss. Green in shades of touch, green and light a kiss. Oh, come walk with me on All Saints Day. Tremble like a leaf, and then what would you do? Tremble like a leaf, then what would you do? Oh, come walk with me, come walk with me, come walk with me on All Saints Day. God, so that tune, I mean, now I gotta say a few things about that tune. I'm sitting here playing that tune and listening to it go by. I would never have written that tune if I hadn't listened to quite a bit of Irish music. It's got that sort of slow air feel. There's no tempo to that tune. There's no meter to that tune. And then the other thing is, man, falling in love is a powerful motivator. I once read that falling in love later in life is rejuvenating, and I took that really seriously because it makes you young again. Ah, all right. There was a question, are you coming back to Colorado? I assume so. I assume I'll come back to Colorado at some point. I mean, I've got to say, you would not know it from the internet, but I have a kid now. I have a 2.5-year-old, and I am doing my level best to spend the first 5 or 10 years just playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, getting the hell home as early as possible on Monday. Pick the guy up from daycare, and we have our Tuesdays together. Where I almost never have a gig on Tuesday, so we hold him out of daycare so that he and I can, get real time. And man, I appreciate your support. I know that most of you are probably patrons on my Patreon page, and you've certainly come to shows if you're here. And I have to say, I love that this is my work, and it used to be my life's work, but I'll be honest, like now my life's work has been reduced to ferrying this little incontinent sociopath around the planet Earth. Anyway, let's see. Oh, here we go. Can you compare? Now, Adam Soul is a poet. I should let the rest of you know. Google him. And so, like, you should look up his work, but also, without even reading it yet, this is going to be a poet's question. Can you compare your lyric songwriting practice to what you know about writing in other genres? Poetry, for example. I feel like everything about poetry and prose and songwriting and painting and sculpture and dance, they are all forms of human expression, and so they have vast amounts of things in common. Timing is a huge part of telling a joke, and also of writing a song, and of writing a sentence. There's the old joke of, I can't sit Germans tell jokes timing. That sheds, to me, plenty of light on, frankly, on just music, instrumental music. It's, So, and then at the same time, obviously there are vast differences. The thing about poetry is that it's so naked. I mean, forgive me, and I'm not just trying to flatter you, Adam, but I really feel like maybe the 3 highest art forms are poetry, where all you have is words on a page or words in the air. Stand-up comedy, where all you have is just a human saying stuff on stage, and dance, especially dance without music. Good God, that's a high wire act. What else would I say? Lyrics, songwriting, practice. Well, the practice of it for me, it goes best when I use that one rule: apply ass to chair. I do best when I'm in a songwriting group. That's the best role I ever had as a songwriter has got to be when I inadvertently joined a 1-week songwriting group with one other songwriter. This wonderful lady opened a show for me in North Carolina. Her name is Jenna Lindbow, and you can look her up. And she's one of those people that actually, when she sees you, says, "Blessings. My heart is so full to see you." And I'm a cynical, grouchy, middle-aged dude. I was like, "Is this lady for fucking real?" And I gradually began to realize that's just how she is, and she's delightful and a wonderful writer, and I adore her work. And she's also super young and super earnest. And after the show, she was like, "I do this thing with a friend of mine where we write a song a day, every day for a week, and he can't do it this year. Would you do it with me next week? And I found myself, curmudgeon that I am, going, yes, and surprised myself. And I swear to God, you don't have to tell me lies you forgot you told and sympathies were all written on like the Tuesday and the Wednesday and the Friday of that week. Just show up and do the work. I feel like that is the most salient advice to any artist. Just write a bunch of poems. You might learn something about your skills. You might write a good one by writing 30 poems and submitting yourself to the awfulness of what it feels like to read one and go, it's not as good as I want it to be. All right. Thanks for notes from elsewhere. One song I hadn't heard before is, if you shoot at a king, you must kill him. Oh, I'll tell you the whole origin of that song. I had if you shoot at a king, you must kill him is a quote attributed to Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes. The young Henry David Thoreau, when Henry David Thoreau was a kid, he apparently wrote an article trashing Plato and handed it to a family friend who was Justice Holmes, who read this kid's thoughts about how Plato was kind of a moron, and just read the essay and handed it back to the kid and said, when you strike at a king, you must kill him, which is pretty good. Like most incredibly resonant quotes, it goes back earlier. Machiavelli in The Prince says, do not do small harm to an enemy. And you can roll it forward. If you watch The Wire, someone tries to kill, that one crazy, wonderful character, the drug dealer, Omar. And someone tries to kill him. A group of people try to kill him, and he kills 3 or 4 of them, and there's one terrified person in this group left, and from out of the shadows comes this voice, Omar's voice, saying, you come for the king, you best not miss. And as for writing the song, that long sort of dream, it came from a prompt. It came from a prompt from my friend Joe and my friend Pamela. We were in a songwriting group, and Joe that week gave me the prompt, you should write a song from the perspective of someone who is having a recurring dream. And Pamela gave me the prompt, your song this week must contain the phrase, Mercedes in the ditch. And I wrote it in Bilbao, in what is politically Spain. I had flown there to play a gig, so I'd flown overnight, and I'd take an Ambien to try to sleep on the airplane. I'd drunk some wine, and I'm wandering through this alien, wonderful, ancient city, listening to ancient human voices rebound off the walls of the city. And then I went right back to the hotel room, and in one stream of consciousness, I wrote the whole thing. I have to say that was an example of the subconscious, the rather submerged part of every mind. Was sort of sending me, I think, messages sub rosa, because the first thing that happens in that first verse is that the terms of the prompt are just fulfilled, dispensed with, and moved on from, like the very first thing. Every night I have the same dream, Mercedes in the ditch. So 2 lines in, the prompt is done, and the song just goes on into this epic stratosphere. And I think my subconscious just had a lot to say about my own conscious worries about this earth and our future on it. 2 requests for corduroy shirt. Let me answer this question, and then I'm going to play shirt. Are you going to release God Is Not Going to Fix Your Life with His Golden Hammer on one of your records? I have to say I don't know. That song is awfully personal. The 2 characters in the song are both very close to me. The narrator and the person the narrator is speaking to are both very close to me. And both of them, one of them is bulimic and the other dealt with a great deal of self-harm. And so, one thing that I like to do in that situation is give the people that I am sketching as characters in the song some say about it. When you talk about something that deep, granted, there'd be no way to know who they are, but I feel like that's the ethical thing to do when you dive in that deep. One of the characters is bulimic, the other used to hit themselves, and then there's a whole bunch. There was another friend of mine who is drunk, who in his drinking days hit a cop. Like those things they're commonplace, and suffering on that level is commonplace. But I like to go gingerly with songs like that. And then the other reason I have no idea if it's going to show up on a record or not is because at this point I'm really hoping I can get Chris Delmhorst to produce the next record of my own songs that I make. And I have this instinct with her. I trust her. Chris Delmhorst is one of the most criminally underappreciated writers of our whole little crowd. Like her records are small astonishments, and she's not hugely ambitious. So I trust her so thoroughly that I decided, you know what, I'm just going to send you 20 or 30 songs, which I have not done yet, but I plan to. And then I want you to see if you see a record of 10 or 12 songs in this. And I want you to decide what the instrumentation, I want all of this to be like, here's what I have. If you have the inclination, if this really moves you and you see something in it, feng shui it, pick the musicians, I'll show up. So I don't know. I have a feeling that stands a chance. That raises the odds of both the record never being made or it being one of the most beautiful things I ever get a chance to make. Sure. I'm 54 years old, and I mentioned being 33 in this song. Jesus, that's a hilarious maneuver, because if you mention your age in a song, within about a year, it's not your age, and then 10 years later, it rhymes. That lyric would rhyme again if you told the truth about your age, and then 20 years later, that lyric rhymes again, and now I'm at the sad juncture where the next time this rhymes, I hope, I'll be playing it on stage. I'll be 63. Light a fire, burn up all you know you've had. Let's whoosh. Light a fire, burn up all you know you've had so much time to let it go. Now you're burning letters, letters in the snow in your backyard. Years go rolling, you're 33, it is time for the cross, time for the Bodhi tree. Still you'd like to cry, couldn't you just cry when you skinned your knee? Man, it's hard. It's the same old friends on New Year's Eve, the same snow falls on the same old leaves. And there's the same old joy, same old hurt, same old corduroy shirt. Old storm windows and the broke-tailed squirrel and the grocery lists and the skateboard girls. Oh, your rusty brain cells give you a twirl. Oh no, I just said rusty brain cells. Kids and a radio, coffee on. You could use a little month, just a little month to lean up on. Still the open road, auto road, it gets me gone. Off I go. It's the same old jar of car keys by the door, the same old scuffed up floor, the same old thirst for more, till they put me in the dirt. It's the same old nights alone, the same old baby when you coming home, to feel the same old joy, feel the same old hurt, same old corduroy shirt, same old corduroy shirt. Wow. Oh, the rusty brain cells, people. Who's your favorite minivan driver, and why is it Katie Dahl? Because twice in my life now I've been squired around the Midwest by Katie Dahl. Wonderful songwriter, good friend of mine. You should check out her work. And plus she has a Toyota Sienna hybrid. Yeah, she does. I'm a big fan of both Katie and hybrids. Is it harder to write songs when you're living a happy and fulfilled life? Not remotely. You know, I feel like, happiness. The original draft of the Declaration actually said, endowed by their creator with life, with certain and inalienable rights. And among these are the rights, implied the rights to life, liberty, and property. And I feel like our country is narcotized enough by work that we would have been, thank God that they amended that to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, because I just think it's plainly a better goal. I'm a really happy guy these days, but parenthood is such a violent disruption of one's identity and work that it casts into relief aspects of happiness that the psychologists have told us about in books. Like one thing that psychologists are fond of saying is that there is such a thing as the experiencing self and the remembered self. My remembered self, when I stop to think about it, I'm so happy these days because I have this new being in my life. He's only been around 28 months, and I've never loved like this. And it's funny, I have never laughed this often. Children are inherently funny. They're like 2.5 foot tall comedians, like we regularly have these just outrageously funny conversations. Hey, Papa, what cow's made of? Well, honey, cows are made of meat. And he says, oh, we not chew on them. They fragile. That give them an owie. Like, you can't make this shit up. At the same time, of course, my experiencing self has had an abrupt demotion. Like, I am so much more stressed, so much more distracted. I can't get anything done. I haven't seen a fucking movie in forever. Every few days, I realize that I haven't had a shower in too long. Like, hands-on raising a human being is just awful. It's awful. It's dreadful. So, I mean, just consider that. Consider that I have at the same time been rendered considerably happier than I was, and just inarguably more miserable than I used to be. And now tell me, how could I possibly not find plenty to write about in that, Man. So I think as usual, it's like anything, children or no children, art or no art, everything is going to go better if you pay more attention in the moment. Questions. Loved you at the Narrows. Thank you. Um, Incontinent sociopath. Yeah, I coined that one. Um, any chance you're touring Europe anytime soon? I regret to inform you that it seems unlikely for the moment. Um, Again, as a parent, I'm just doing my level best to spend at least 3 to 5 years only going away Thursday through Sunday. And so it's just not economically feasible. I will say at some point when his sort of long term memory kicks in, maybe he's 4 or 6 or 8, I really think we would like to move someplace. And I've thought often that we could move fairly easily and spend a year in Ireland in the West somewhere and just send him to school with a whole different cohort. And there'd be no language barrier. Um, and then I could tour Europe, on the regular for a little while. So that's about the only way I can envision it. But, one fine day I'll get back. Thank you. Doop, doop, doobadoo. Omar. More notes is my best yet. Thank you. God damn. Okay, I'm going to scroll way down here to further comments. Oh my God. Sister Strings are watching. That's hilarious. Hey, oh my God. Hey, go check out Sister Strings. They really could use my help becoming more famous than they are. I'm sorry, I did. Oh, that's right, I did know. Tim Wakefield has passed away. Let's see. Holy shit. Seamus. Oh, that's hilarious. I used to be famous in a few towns in Ireland, and this guy was a young man, and came to my show in Cork, and then I had that amazing privilege, of just going back to the apartments of young people and sitting around and drinking a pint and playing music with people. God damn! Oh, man. Thank you for the privilege of being a part of that. Sister Strings is telling me correctly that I should let the assembled human beings know that we're playing together this summer. Shanti and Monique Ross are Sister Strings, very possibly the best people I know at doing a thing. They are the best at doing the thing they do. They are better at doing the thing they do than anyone I know. The cello and violin, harmonies, playing with other musicians, writing. They are a multi-front, ongoing storming of the battlements of art. And we are playing at the Big Top Chautauqua, which is this marvelous, it's an old Big Top tent up near the Apostle Islands in the north of Wisconsin. So if you're anywhere else in the United States, you're not near there. If you live in any major city, if you live on either coast, you are thousands of miles from there or hundreds of miles from there. And yet somehow this tent is very often just absolutely full, and we would like it to be full for our performance there. So book yourself an airplane ticket to, checks notes, Winnipeg, Minneapolis, or Green Bay, and then drive 5 hours from any of those locations, and you'll be at the Big Top Chautauqua. Oh, look at this. Here we have a pragmatic question. I'll be making my annual trip to the Berkshires in July. What are your top 3 favorite music venues in that neck of the woods? I have to drop off, but I'll check the video replay later. All right. That's an easy question to answer. The Iron Horse is finally open again. And in fact, I'm pretty sure I'll be playing it sometime in November. Doop-a-doop. And then I love the Parlor Room because it's so tiny. And I'm also I'm a big fan of Bombyx, which is an arts center in an old church, and I'm actually playing there in just a week or so. I'm in the middle of a run of shows with my mentor, Chris Smither. Hello from Rochester, New York. Fool's Errand. I assume these. I assume that these are requests. I suppose I will play one of them. Doop doo. One of my faves, Knuckleball Suite. Oh yeah, Timmy Wakefield. Early summer of 21. I'm getting requests. I should play a goddamn song. I'm going to play a couple of songs. Here is Early Summer of 21, which is a tune that Sister Strings play on the record Love is the Only Thing. And I'm going to actually get in tune for it. Sunday. I'm doing a live stream on a Sunday. I should do this more often and with more advance warning, because I'm fully aware that there are quite a few people who live too far from the places that I regularly play, and there are quite a few people in this country who are still suffering from long COVID or are immunocompromised and do not want to suffer from long COVID or just short COVID. That's bad enough. So I'm going to put this on my list of things to do. I'm going to do more live streams. I'm going to find a regular basis to do them. All right. Early summer of 21, when we felt like it was all clear. Guess we went a little crazy, loved hugging everyone. Took our bikes to the riverbank, put our bodies in the water, watched the little ones splashing, drunk on the warmth of the sun. I took a train to the city, just like we hadn't done in 2 years, and we packed into McSorley's just to sit and have a beer. And then we waited in a long line just to get a taco. We were licking our fingers, eyes full of tears. Nobody can tell you until you see it with your eyes. No matter how full up with sorrow, behind the clouds there was always the sky. There was a singer on the sidewalk. Oh, she had a little crowd there. She was young and she was soulful. She was raking it in. And then we stopped into a thrift store, and you tried on a sweater. I told you you looked pretty, and you gave me a grin. And so we walked around the village. Oh, we looked at all the people, and the day was so perfect, even though we knew it had to end. And on the last train home, we could still hear that street song. We were just so happy to have been in the world again. And nobody can tell you until you see it with your eyes. No matter how full up with sorrow, behind the clouds, yeah, there was always the sky. Hey, just in case Sister Strings are still here, you may or may not be. Hi, from Belfast. Just in case Sister Strings are here, Monique, if you ever want to just write a long email explaining to me how the hell did you keep your cello technique up and your vocal chops up and all of it during the early part of parenthood. I feel like I'm like flailing. These things don't work. This thing doesn't work. Like I just don't have time. Oh, anyway. All right. You got any thoughts on that? And also, I can't believe I'm conducting business in front of everybody, but we are playing Big Top Chautauqua, and you guys are supposed to play Fish Creek 2 days later. But call Susie, get her to move the Fish Creek gig from the Sunday to the Saturday, and then we could do it together. You could go the hell home. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, that's what I got. That's it. That's your secret. Your secret's being younger than me, Monique. Is that the deal? Is that the deal? Ooh, why? There. Look at that. And she's even got an emoticon. That's an emoticon, people. It's not an emoji. It's an emoticon. That's right. So how young are you? Huh? Okay. Matt McIver from Belfast. Trempolo. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, God knows I'm not going to be playing over in Belfast, Ireland for a while. Man. Oh. Our neighbor's daughter moved to Belfast. I can never remember which one. It's Jason and Latanya, and their daughters are Camille and damn it, I can't remember which daughter moved to Belfast. But man, you should look her up based on that information. All right, this is called Trempolo. This is about the saddest thing I wrote in the aughts. Look at this. Human beings huddled around their laptops to hear a sad song. Man, we should shrink this country down. We should make this country just only the size of, like, France, so that we could all hang out together more often. Bright black road, a ribbon in the snow. West by north, from here to Trempolo. With everything that we do and do not know, why can't you just say I love you? An iron heart and a fire in the head. Birds and clouds all up in a sky of lead. Every place you make your lonesome bed. Oh, why can't you just say I love you? A 1,000 pages and everyone will say 1,000,000 trees, never knowing grief or shame. If it's true that we go as we came, then why can't you? Why can't you? Why can't you? Why can't you? Why can't you just say I love you? Oh man, the audience coming to see me open for Chris Smither tonight is apparently not going to get a great show because I'm leaving the good guitar playing on the table here. Ah, that felt good. Nice. Oh, hey, a question about a new song. I love French Bulldog, but please tell me how Carrie Fisher slid in there. I can tell you exactly how. Oh, God. There's a guy named J.T. Nero, and he was one half of Birds of Chicago, and he was the principal songwriter for J.T. and the Clouds. He is married to Allison Russell, and he's a great songwriter. And I literally, within days of meeting him, we were like sitting there, and he played me this tune that he wrote called Mi Salvador. And the second verse is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. The whole verse is World War II. Yeah, I'll just sing it to you. World War II. Oh, was a good war. Everyone knew what to do. All the boys knew what they were dying for. I put $2 in the tip jar while you were making my espresso. I thought you saw me do it, but now I'm not so sure. And I need you to see that I'm a good person. That verse knocks me the fuck out because the narrator has a poker face, you know? What a strange two things to put side by side. World War II was a good war. Everyone knew what they were fighting for. I tipped you, but I'm not sure if you saw me tip you. I want to be good. And it says, without saying, everything about people that falls into the gap between the enormity and the trivialness, right? Like, that's just such that's such an efficient way to say a lot while not saying anything much at all, because everything he's saying falls in the space between those things. So I was writing French Bulldog, you know, and it's just this couple that, you know, that they get described right in the beginning. They're having a cell phone conversation while the guy's driving and the woman's in the kitchen, and they don't get along. And like, we know couples like that. I've been couples like that, you know, good people, and they're just like are failing to ever take each other the right way, you know. And like, it just kept building and it kept building. And I just decided to use the JT Nero trick. I mean, decided might be the wrong word, but the next thing that came out was that chorus. I miss Carrie Fisher. I'm fucking sad that Carrie Fisher is dead. And there's, you know, I've never met Carrie Fisher. Most people have not met Carrie Fisher. And everything about the gap between our own, you know, ordinary little sadnesses and then our sort of common shared human cultural sadnesses. Yeah, there's a lot of room in there. And the only way to talk about that huge amount of things that we share and that are relevant to us, sometimes it's just to put these two things like right the fuck next to each other. I intend to do more of that if I ever find time to write another song. I have a very big table. Wait, I don't know what that means. Um, Aw. But I'm sure it means something. And then we have Peter. Thanks for being the catalyst for the Elephants group. Oh my God, I am so happy that group has happened. What am I listening to lately? What I'll tell you what I'm listening to lately. Jim Infantino's new record, because I just saw him. He's got a record. What is it called? Jim Infantino, Utopia. He literally just handed it to me yesterday. And what is it? Utopia Revisit is the name of the record. And then Ani DeFranco's new record, which is Titanic. So good. Man, I know. Ani has made, I think this is like her 23rd record. And, like a lot of artists that are great, I can't keep up with her records, and I love her. I can't keep up with my own damn records. I'm sitting here opening for Chris Smither, and someone said, "Hey, can you tell me what record I should buy?" And I just grabbed a couple records. I was like, I don't know, this one's this one's this one's the American Songbook. I have this record I made called it's called The Good Stuff, and it's got songs by Willie Nelson and Leonard Cohen and Chris Smither. Did I put a fucking Chris Smither song? I was like, Chris, I recorded your song. I've completely had forgotten. So anyway, Ani DeFranco's new record, I've listened to maybe 5 of the last 10 Ani DeFranco records in depth. And this one she made with, the guy who produced the Bon Iver record, 22 a Million. His name is BJ Burke. And so this is the first record that she hasn't self-produced. And she just sent the tunes over to this electronics wizard. And he did a thing that I think I didn't know it was possible to do. He just did a bunch of sonic trickery and wizardry, very obvious machine wrangling of the soundscapes, and he somehow made it come out of speakers the thing that Ani does on stage with her band or solo. Any of you who've ever seen Ani DeFranco, she has this peculiar ability to walk out on stage and address 400 or 1400 or 2400 people and just tear everyone's head off, just lay it down. And this record kind of feels more like that, like her live deal, than any record I've heard of hers. I left it all on the table. Now I understand. Now I get it. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's what I'm listening to these days. Any other questions? Any other questions, for the love of God? I want to answer questions and also sing songs. I'm going to sing the Knuckleball Suite because someone mentioned the passing of the great knuckleball pitcher Timothy Wakefield. Tim Wakefield was a Boston Red Sox knuckleballer and a hero in that he was relentlessly humble. I considered him an absolute inspiration. I'm a pretty Catholic thinker, small C Catholic, which is to say I'm interested in many things. And I'm a guitar player and he was a pitcher, but my God. I learned a whole lot when he moved into the 3rd all-time wins list as a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. So, behind Roger Clemens and Cy Young. And a reporter, when that happens to you, when you enter a small list of people, the all-time winningest Red Sox pitcher, Cy Young, the next one, Roger Clemens, and then, you know, Tim Wakefield. A reporter will walk up to you and say, how does it feel to be mentioned in the same breath as Cy Young and Roger Clemens? And his answer was so fucking amazing. He said, oh man, feels great to be mentioned with Cy Young and Roger Clemens and Mel Parnell and Louis Tiant and all those greats. But I mean, I could not have done this without my team. And not just the 30 guys I'm playing with now. I mean, I'm talking about the 475 people that have been on the Boston Red Sox in the decades I've been part of this organization. Like, a pitcher can't do any of that unless there are people out in the outfield and the infield fielding that. And of course the entire coaching, like, he just rejected the premise that he was one of three. It was almost as though he had not heard the question. I always respected that, and now he's dead. I wish that I could have met him, because I would have wanted to ask him, are you the kind of guy that can just give that beautifully ethical an answer off the top of your head? Or are you, like me, someone who is absolutely going to screw that up if they're just asked off the top of their head, and so you have to think of that answer in advance? That's what I would have asked him. It is a warm summer evening, I can just hear the knuckleball sweep. It is a warm summer evening, I can just hear the knuckleball sweep. I can hear the clover hum along, I can hear the little rain clouds are finding their feet. This town is a talisman, it's a vanishing breed. This town is a talisman, and we are a vanishing breed. And our song is a first year viola lost in the weeds. Billy C is drinking Sandy Man port down at the old cafe. Billy C is drinking Sandy Man port down at the old cafe. The little river goes by slow, the little river likes it that way. Sally's barefoot in the backyard, calling out to the star above the pine. Barefoot in the backyard, calling out to the star above the pine. Oh, for once the star answers, sail, you were the wine, you were the wine, you were the wine. Ah. My brother Franklin is the ace. Franklin, he's a wireless sport. My brother Franklin, oh, he's the ace. He is a wireless sport. Going down to the old cafe to sit with Bill and drink the Sandy Man port. And it's a warm summer evening. Oh, oh, I hear the sweet. It is a warm summer evening. Do you hear the sweet? I can hear the clover hum along. I can hear the little rain clouds are finding their feet. The little clover hums along. Tell me, are these summer evenings where you and I used to meet? All of these warm summer evenings are where we once and again shall all meet. To answer your question, Stacy Bernard, yeah, I'm going to do this more often, man. Doop ba doop doop. What is your child's favorite song that you sing to him? Well, none of you know this song, but my God, off the top of my head, trying to kill some time and entertain this little man. Having a child is like welcoming a 2.5 foot tall Polynesian god into your life. They just demand that you throw hour and hour and hour of your life into the volcano to sacrifice it to keep them appeased so that they're not bored and fussy. So I've written a smash hit among children, and I've played a couple of children's shows in my life, and I'm telling you, this is a smash hit. If somebody wants to have a whole career as a children's musician, I am not that foolish. Check this out. Coffee song, coffee song, coffee, 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 coffee song. It's the coffee song, coffee song, coffee, 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 coffee song. It's the coffee, 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 coffee song. And then you improvise. Mama song, mama song, mama, 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 mama song. Oh, mama song, mama song, mama, 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 mama song. It's the mama, 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 mama song. And just on and on, kitty song, kitty song, kitty cat, kitty song. They love it. They love it. Looking through here for questions. Anybody have any more questions or requests? More questions or more requests? Happy to. What are you reading these days? Oh God, what am I reading these days? Ha! Hello, Sean. By the way, what am I reading these days? I have a book of poems by a Palestinian poet who's been dead maybe 10 years now, but as horrifying as things are over in Palestine and Israel these days, it's been pretty horrible for a time. And these poems are like the reason I'm reading it right now, the reason it feels so important right now is that we get drawn down very easily into the nitty gritty of this, and and everyone wishes to see suffering end, and so we have these we take stands, and I think we should take stands, but I can't help but notice that most of the people saying things on every side of the argument are the people in the position of having the liberty of not being shelled and bombed, or having the liberty of not being murdered in their houses, and like that's so I feel like whenever there's a conflict going on, I have this instinct. Like Haiti would be another example. Haiti is just a nearly intolerable place to live. Well, then I go and I get a book by Edwidge Danticat. She's a famous Haitian novelist. Because I feel like I have this instinct to just say, we can say whatever we want, but it might be a good idea to just go listen to what the artists and the poets of the people who are currently suffering these derangements, what do they have to say? So I'm reading a few books of Palestinian poets. Naomi Shihab Nye, she's an American, but she's a Texan and a Palestinian, and she's got a new kids book out. I would recommend that. That's kind of where my head is at. Late. Saw you opening Chris's show last night. Aw. I can do Oh my God, I cannot. Marcy Miller, I would love to do Check Me Out, but I cannot do Check Me Out because, God, I don't know the lyrics. Um, we have a request for, oh, we have a whole bunch of requests. That's delightful. Um, I think what I'm going to do is play a couple of requests, and if you have any questions, I will answer. I'll answer a couple, three questions in between the requests. Um, what have I got here? Fool's Errand. I had a request for Fool's Errand. Doop a doop. Doop. That's what that is. Doop 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 a doop a doop doop. That entered my vocabulary 2 years and 8 months ago. I was carrying the guy, and that, apparently when they're super little and at apex of their powers of asymmetrical warfare, where they can just like defeat you, back and up, that rule your day. Man, I just doop doop. Oh my God, I never felt an animal in all day. Just a useful body. If you get rich, I'll come up with a get scheme. So what you'd build, it's like an exercise, and it costs $22,000. And just for it's kind of a robot machine. It's sort of really squirmy, and you have to hold it in your left hand and in your right hand. You have to walk around and do all your tasks while holding this little, sort of wiggling machine. And then the subscription, by the way, is $3,000 a month. And the machine sort of grows, and it makes you get up out of bed and attend to it. And then, it's pretty soon it's not 8 pounds, it's 17 pounds. Then it's like 29 pounds. You have to hold this, and then it's like 2.5 feet tall. It's like squirming all over the place. This, it's a growing machine, and it has limbs that can flail at you, and you just have to like deal with this. It's a physical fitness machine, and then at the very end, then you have to like bike it around places on your bike, and then you have to send it to college. I swear to God, there must be 100 billionaires in Silicon Valley who would pay for such an exercise machine without actually having children, because they're too, they want to live to be 1,000 years on transfusions of blood. And they have this theory about how children makes people happier and live longer, but they don't want the actual emotional attachment. So that's my latest scheme. I'm just going to sell billionaires children that aren't really children. Right friend of mine is sleeping on an island. Another friend is sleeping in a wood stove up inside the hill. I'm in a city in the line, I got coffee in the maker, and I pick up my guitar. Let the whole day do what it will. Well, one spring day, the pretty girls with the long hair, the pigeons in the town square, the fair green hills. Blue sky above, you get the longing for a little cabin nestled down below. But I left town on those errands a long time ago. My father was a Studebaker road on a rainy stretch of road. My mother was lilacs carried on a breeze. My mother was a bike with a banana seat, a baseball bat, a book of Greek myth, a pair of jeans, holes in the knees. Well, just about the moment that you got to step it up and learn a brand new tune, your secret heart comes through, and now you got to find the place that you remember, and it's like a fire in the snow. But I left town on a fool's errand a long time ago. Hey, 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 hey. One day you'll be sitting with your ever broken everything and thinking about the baby that you used to be in an old photograph. This is all a long goodbye to everything you thought you had been when you can't cry. Some fool will tell you that you gotta laugh. Oh, when the moment comes, you get to step it up and learn to sing a brand new tune. Your secret heart will come through. You got to find your place, the place that you remember, and it's burning like a fire in the snow. But you live down by a fool's errand. I left town on a fool's errand too. We left town on a fool's errand a long time ago. Hey, hey. Good God. Oh, thank you very much. I'm gonna play one more tune here. I want to thank you for tuning in, and yes, more often. I had meant this to be a Q&A for my Patreon page, and at the same time, man, I would highly recommend you go over there and send me money, because I need money and I like money and I'm a capitalist. And I just want to become wealthy. That's all I ever wanted. Once you finally send me enough money, obviously, I'm going to stop doing this. I only did this to get rich. Patreon has been it's what got me through the pandemic, and it's what is allowing me to take a slightly less road-intensive path for the next 5 or 6 years, and so I would really appreciate it. Also, what I notice is that it seems to be, in some ways, a place where we can have a little quieter sort of get-together. I just sort of post content there. That they make me throw up in the back of my mind. It's the last thing we need. 400 supporters over there. I'd love to have 5 or 6, but what I know the category, and maybe you would like to fall into this category, signed up, sending $5 a month, whatever, a couple, 3 fancy coffees or not. And then they actually don't check in on the content. I'd be fine with that. I kind of get it. It's kind of the NPR model, like you'd rather tune into this and you'd rather come to a show and you'd rather put on my records, and you vaguely understand that for me to do this way is not going to fit into the commercial model of the United States and the culture we live in, the hyper-capitalist West. And so, you just send a little extra money figuring that that'll help me go on. Trust me, it will. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I know that's a super hard sell. I know I'm coming across like a ton of bricks. Here's a song. I've been loving this song. This is a song called "I Have Met My Love Today," and this is one of the very last songs that John Prine wrote. It came out on his what turned out to be his final record, Tree of Life, and it's sung best as a duet, but this is a little sleeper. I feel like it's just a beautiful and almost cute little tune. And at the same time, man, this shit is deep. Like, I don't believe in all my hundreds of songs that I've even ever approached this sort of lightness, profundity, simpleness, and groove. So I want to leave you with this. This is the song I've been digging the hell out of lately. I have met my love today. I have met my love today. Doesn't really matter what we have to say. I have met my love today. I've been holding on for you. Dreams I've had have all come true. I have seen your picture and I knew you right away. I have met my love today. True love will always have its way. There ain't no doubt about true love, it's here to stay. Hey, hey. Day by day our love will grow. Day by day our love will show. We'll go on forever, and I can truly say I have met my love today. Whoa, whoa. I have met my love today. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in. And I'm going to do this more often. And I hope to see you out on the road. And can you send me money right here on Facebook? I mean, yes, sort of, I guess. Here's a way. Here's a thing you could do. No. One moment, please. No, I'm trying to find the way to put this crap on the screen. Not share screen. QR codes designed. See, I'm so bad. I'm so bad at tech. You could go to send you money right now. This is why I'm not a captain of industry. You could go to you could search PLV Patreon. You could Venmo me. I don't just come to one of my fucking shows. I did a whole post on this. I guess I should just thought about this a lot. Like, of art is the exchange where you experience the art. Like, if you put a record on in an empty room, there is no music happening. You know, you walk out of that room, you shut the door. There's sound happening, but there's no music happening. But if you walk back in that room, music happening. It's happening in your mind. And it's the same. Like, if you're in a room with me, the music isn't happening here and here. It's happening in your mind, in your heart, in you. That's where the music happens. And I'm lucky because I've done this for so long that I can do it almost automatically. I'm actually sitting back and listening a lot like you are. That's change, and you can't sell it. It only exists in time. It's temporal, right? That's the currency. But my fucking bank does not accept that currency. I can, as beautiful as the thing I just said is out a beautiful truth of being alive and human. And I could walk into my mortgage broker's office and say it to them, but it would not convince them to give me a break when the mortgage is due. And so that's what Patreon is for. That's what concert tickets are for. That's what you've already done all these things for me. Like we've been square for a long fucking time. Maybe I just want to sign off by saying I genuinely feel like the young people I know have a more automatic grasp on the thing I'm talking about than I do. It took me 50 years to say it, and I feel like every high schooler nowadays is like, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Like the precious thing is being alive, and then money is just something we invented because we can't quite yet figure out how to just take care of one another. So thank you for coming to my shows. Thanks for all the time, the attention. Thanks for all of it, and I will see you out there in real life, and I'll do these live streams more often, especially for those of you that don't live where I tour. So, all right, thanks. Well, talk to you soon.